Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at maxed out Durant to see how well it does perform. And we're also going to be taking a look at future bug types that are actually going to be taking over the bug scene, that's for sure, including Genesect. Absolutely awesome. So Durant is a pretty interesting Pokemon. I loved using it in the main series games, but unfortunately in Pokemon Go, it's just going to be lacking because there are no abilities to give it that edge, unfortunately. But as you can see, its typing is going to be Bug and Steel, meaning it's going to have one weakness. Max CP is going to be 2,659, attack 217, defense 188, and stamina 151. So as you can see here, one weakness, which is going to be fire, and then it's going to be resisting grass, poison, bug, dragon, fairy, ice, normal, psychic, and steel. So if there's another Pokemon you can think of just like this, it's going to be the same typing. That's going to be Caesar. That's right. So is it going to be better? Unfortunately, not. Maybe depending upon the situation, but let's take a look at the moves here. We have Bug Bite and Metal Claw for the quick moves. Not bad. Not bad at all. For the charge moves, we have Stone Edge, Iron Head, and X Scissor. Yet again, not bad at all. You do have that Stone Edge to cover yourself in case you do run into fire. Now, that will be the case for PvP, having that Stone Edge ready to go. If you don't, well, you're probably just going to get finished off by fire quick moves. And then you have Iron Head. That is a pretty good steel type move for the charge. And then you have X Scissor, which is a decent move. I think Bug Buzz is going to be a little bit better, but X Scissor is still going to be okay. Now, what is Durant lacking here? Well, as we can see, attack. Unfortunately, it's going to be low. I had to give this thing some love. I've been waiting to do this, so we're still going to completely max it out and go test it up against some raids, and I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, the performance, I mean, well, it's clear as day as to what it was, but yeah, it didn't perform the best. Now, Durant is going to be located on the Eastern Hemisphere, while the Heatmore is going to be located on the Western Hemisphere. So I was lucky enough to do a trade for one of these, and it actually went lucky. I did give up a very old friend of mine, the Cloyster, that I did power up, but the attack and the IVs weren't great, so it was okay for this specific situation. Now, taking a look at future bug types, we have Volcarona, Genesect, and then the current Bug King, Pinsir, and then we have Durant on the map here, so you can just do a little bit of a comparison since this is the bug of the topic. Now, taking a look at the Volcarona, don't get your hopes up too much for this thing because it's probably going to be as rare as a Gible and or Dino, maybe even Litwick. Yes, Litwicks became readily available for the Halloween event, but yes, they are now back to being extremely rare. Anyways, as you can see, the attack on the Volcarona is going to be 264, Genesect 252, Pinsir 238. That's a big jump there. For Pinsir to be the #1 bug type, and then to have those two way above it as far as the attack is concerned, all their stats as a matter of fact, and then you have Durant way down here with 217. It's just not performing like these other ones here. So Volcarona, Genesect are going to be very exciting Pokemon. We're going to take a look at Genesect's moves here. There's something very interesting about it. In fact, in the Game Master files, these assets have been added regarding different sort of things that it can possibly hold. Now, what these different items do is, in fact, change the moves. Not too sure how Niantic is going to implement it, but taking a look at the original Genesect, Fury Cutter, Metal Claw, Hyper Beam, X Scissor, and Magnet Bomb for the normal one there. And then if we go up here on the Go Hubs site, take a look at the burn set, and then it's going to be switched up for flamethrower on that in exchange for the hyper beam. And then going and taking a look at the next one, I just wanted to show you the typing. It's the same. It doesn't change to bug and fire or anything. Let's go ahead and go to chill. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's going to be ice beam now instead of the flamethrower and the hyper beam. And then if we take a look at the next one, Douse, that is actually going to be Poison Gunk Shot in replace of the Flamethrower and Hyper Beam, as well as the Ice Beam. And then for the last one, Shock. Another self-explanatory, it's going to have Zap Cannon, probably the worst one out of all of them because it takes so long to finally charge. Volcarona is going to be absolutely amazing. Bug Bite and Fire Spin for the quick moves. And then you have Hurricane, Overheat, Solar Beam, and Bug Buzz for the charge moves. Everything is heavy hitting, has coverage. It is quite amazing. Bug Buzz, the best bug charge move, and then you have Overheat, arguably the best fire charge move as well, mixed with Fire Spin and or Bug Bite. You can combine it to be an extremely good fire attacker or bug type attacker. Now, taking a look at the DPS, we have Volcarona at the top for bug types, Bug Bite and Bug Buzz sitting at 15.2 with a TDO of 459. Then taking a look at Genesect with Fury Cutter and X Scissor, DPS is going to be 14.5 and a TDO of 407. So the Genesect will be going down to fire a whole lot harder than Volcarona. Volcarona is going to be neutralized because of that fire typing. And then you have Pinsir with Bug Bite and X Scissor, another Pinsir with Fear Cutter and X Scissor, Scizor with Fear Cutter and X Scissor, and all of these are going to be kind of tied with each other slightly. Yanmega with Bug Bite and Bug Buzz, that is my personal go-to bug. And then if we go down, we have Durant sitting there with Bug Bite and X Scissor at 12.9 compared to the top, or let's say the current Bug King Pinsir sitting at 14.0, and then Durant is going to be sitting at 12.9 with a TDO of 302, so it's not going to be the best one out there. If you're into having unique bug types or unique teams, then it possibly may be something you want to use. Now, taking a look at it from its steel typing, you're like, well, what about the steel? Now, unfortunately for the other steel types, Metagross is going to always take that #1 spot with Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash sitting at 17.9 DPS with a TDO of 621. And then if we move all the way down, we see Durant with Metal Claw and Iron Head sitting at 12.8 with a TDO of 300. So as far as, do you want to power this up? Do you actually want to invest the possible rare candies or Stardust? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you this, not really. It's a fun Pokemon to use. Now, taking a look at it going up against an Alakazam, it is going to be landing at that 12 spot. But hey, at least it's right next to Mewtwo. So of course that is going to be Bug Bite and X Scissor, and that is going to take 5 of those. Unfortunately, it did not perform the best, and we're going to look at that. And going up against Raichu in the rain, of all things, so it will have a boost. It is sitting at number 23, so that is absolutely not good at all. Sorry, Durant. Now, if you're thinking, what about PvP? Well, let's go ahead and look at the Great League here. It can go up against some of the top hitters. You have Spylus, Deoxys, Defense Form, Hypno, Meganium, and Venusaur, all of which people like to use in possibly even a freestyle when you have that Deoxys or Spylus roaming around. So, hey, at least it's going to be doing okay. It's going to be in that 148th spot for the Great League. Taking a look at the Ultra League, it's moving up to 77. Very nice. And the counters for it, well, at least to use against it, it's going to be Meganium, Cresselia, Venusaur. So, I mean, at least it's going to be countering things people possibly may be using. And then looking at the Master League, 123. Durant, I'm sorry. But the counters that it can go up against are actually pretty good. Mewtwo, Latios, Mamoswine, I mean, Gardevoir, and then Hydreigon. It's not all bad there. So taking a look at these raids, I mean, let me tell you this. With Durant in the front, even with the rain, so it's going to get a boost on those bug types, but it still really wasn't enough to make it something viable. Now, if Durant went up against, say, a Exeggutor or a Cacturne, you know, a Grass and Dark or a Grass and Psychic, both of those typings are going to be weak to bug, while the Durant will be able to resist the moves that it does have. Then it will be okay, but still, at that, you have the other bug types to help you perform there. All right, and Durant, it's going to be obviously a steep investment. Any Pokemon to max out is pretty expensive, unless it is lucky, and you know. But I still had to invest the rare candies, and nowadays rare candies are pretty hard to come by. So it kind of hurt, but I've been wanting this Pokemon for a long time. So taking a look at the counters that it does have in PvP, in fact, it did look pretty good, despite the ranking for it. If you did have those people using those specific Pokemon, you know, the Spylus, the Deoxys Defense Form, Cresselia, Mewtwo, Venusaur even, because Venusaur is a hot pick, right? It will be able to do okay. But unfortunately in raids and or going up against anything else in PvP, it has to look out, especially with that 4 times weak to fire. So Durant, is it a go? I already said this, or is it a pass? It's definitely going to be a pass for now, guys. I'm happy I still invested the stuff in it so we can see the performance here and lay it to rest. I know we could have just looked at the stats or went to some simulators to determine, in fact, how well it will perform. But you know what we like to do over here, actually get our hands dirty, power it up, and test it out. So going up against this Claydol here, now there's going to have to be a little bit of context while we view these, because it's not really like the other Pokemon that I've kind of done the power of videos where they're actually really good and you just watch them destroy the raids and perform magnificently. But Durant is not performing magnificently, even in the rain. And as we can see, the Claydols here, if you personally have been up against one of these, I mean, it's not a pushover raid. It's not extremely difficult, but at the same time, you can't really let your guard down. You have to pick correct counters, otherwise he will have to restart and it will time out. Now in the rain, we could go up against it using Community Day Hydro Cannons, Kyogres, and absolutely demolish the Kratal, but I wanted to stick to the bug theme for this specific video here, and we're able to barely do it. And that was a one and done, and I was pretty happy that, like, thank goodness I didn't want to do that over again. Now, I found an Alakazam today. This is going to have Psycho Cut and Shadow Ball. It did give me some trouble, as you're going to see here. My pincer didn't even get a chance to battle, and I wanted you to see, look at the pincer, it has full health, but as soon as it does enter into the fight, it doesn't even get to use one attack. It just faints for some reason. I'm assuming it was shadow hit by Shadow Ball. Alright, so Alakazam hits pretty hard with Shadow Ball here, and the Durant is going to be super effective. As you've seen, the weather is going to be snowy, so no weather boost on the bug types, so we don't have any steel moves. Not going to purchase a secondary move on this. And I will be getting another Durant in the Great League, in which I will show you the performance there. And I probably will purchase a secondary move on that. But as far as my maxed out one, it's just going to be one or the other typings for whatever situation. So it does go down there. It did a decent amount of, damage, I suppose. But yeah, it's really sad, unfortunately, because Durant, I really like it. I just wanted it to be a little bit more viable. Unfortunately, it's not. Yanmega is still going to be my go-to bug for sure. That's not going to say Durant is absolutely trash. I mean, it does have the steel and bug typing, which will give it a ton of resistances while giving it only one weakness, and that is going to be fire. But then again, you could just go to Caesar, like this one, and it's going to do the same, and it's going to last longer, do more damage, and it's tankier. So I do have a ton of Caesars powered up. Always like their performance, but Durant, unfortunately, is just falling a little bit, no, a lot, a big time short from being something you definitely want to max out. Anyways, thank you for watching, trainers. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I'll be keeping you posted on what's going on Pokemon Go news. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.